It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me.
Howdy, folks. Welcome in. You have arrived at the Texas to Tennessee podcast. My name's Steve. Right up top there, that's Soul Gravy.
Howdy.
How are you, sir?
Doing good. A lot better since the last time we spoke. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's good to hear. I was concerned. So, folks, very excited today. Our friend Josh Smith has decided to join us. Thanks for coming in, sir.
Man, thanks for having me, guys.
Fired up to get to chat with you a little bit, pick your brain, and ask you some random questions.
All right.
So, folks, if you are on YouTube, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. We appreciate it on Facebook, allegedly on TikTok tonight as well, I think. Maybe not. Not on TikTok tonight, but come join us on YouTube.
Stripped back. We are as stripped back acoustically as Texas, Tennessee.
That's right.
Excellent.
Very good.
By the way, I saw the smirk. Does that mean that you know Lucero? Is that?
Oh yeah, I love Lucero.
Yeah,
When I heard the name of this podcast, I was like, all right, the Lucero song. Yeah, that's Memphis strong right there.
That was part of the decision.
Yeah,
it was.
Great band.
Yeah, we actually could spend an hour talking about Lucero if you wanted to, Josh. But I think for the benefit of the viewers, I don't know. Would you mind maybe just taking a couple minutes and giving us a little bit of your backstory?
Yeah, sure. So they say my name is Josh Smith. I'm from Clinton, Tennessee originally. But I front a band called Handsome and the Humbles out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and we've been making songs together for about since 2014, I think, is when we released our first EP. And we play some alternative kind of stuff. And I moved to Texas a couple of years ago. I also have a solo project called the Reverend J. Mikhael Smith and the Brimstone Miracle. That stuff got pulled off of the internet recently, but I'm gonna get it back on there. But I'm originally from Tennessee. Moved to Texas 2 years ago to be with my girlfriend and her son, and I love Texas. It's great. I like the food here. So, yeah, man.
Absolutely. Well, in honor of your move from Tennessee to Texas, we'll call it the Tennessee to Texas show tonight. So,
hell yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Sometimes we get it the other way, so this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, you dropped a hint, Soul Gravy. I hope you were paying attention. Clinton, Tennessee, is the name of the town that you're going to get quizzed on tonight. So,
okay.
I feel like you should have a little bit of a home court advantage, even though it's on the other side of the state.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Depends on who it is.
Named after George Clinton and the P-Funk All-Stars.
All right, okay. All right.
Obviously.
Well, it's funny. I went down a little bit of a rabbit hole because I had time today, so I did a little research on Clinton.
Yeah.
Clinton originally, founded in 1801.
Yeah.
1801. That's pretty impressive.
A lot older.
Been around for a while.
Yeah, George Clinton. I think
he's that old.
Did he go to school in Denton? I think maybe he did. Anyway, that's unrelated. But yeah, so it used to be called Burrville.
Yeah.
And Burrville, Aaron Burr, Alexander Hamilton, that whole drama, they thought it was kind of a bad look, so they changed it to Clinton, named actually after a guy named George Clinton.
Yeah.
But different.
Worked out better, probably.
Yeah, for sure.
Could you imagine being the Burrville football team?
Yeah, no, that would be tough. So
we're just gonna cheat,
right?
Kill our friends.
So population, according to the 2020 census, of about 10,000 folks. I don't know. I want to say within 20 to 30 minutes of Knoxville. Is that fair?
Yeah, it's about 20 minutes.
30
minutes if you hit the big time Knoxville traffic.
Would it be considered today a suburb, or would it more kind of a freestanding
it's
farming community?
it's its own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it probably is considered a suburb. It's about 8 miles from Knoxville.
Okay.
Like 8 miles north of Knoxville.
All right. Cool. Well, Soul Gravy, we have some folks to ask you about.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Charles McCrae.
I don't think I'm familiar with his work, but let's phone a friend. Josh. Yeah.
Charles McCrae was an offensive lineman and defensive lineman at Clinton High School. He was an All-American at the University of Tennessee, and yeah, went to the NFL. Played in the NFL for several years. He used to come to our practices when I played high school football. He used to come to our practices at Clinton, and it's Charles McCrae, that 7-foot dude over there.
Yeah, it's impressive.
You know, we were all like super impressed with Charles McCrae. So yeah.
I think if I'm not, well, I very well could be wrong, but I think he played for the Seahawks.
He may have. I know he played for the Buccaneers.
Okay.
That's what I remember.
Yep.
For sure, but
Probably correct.
He may have.
All right, you're 1 for 1, Soul Gravy. Good job. Good use of the phone and a friend. Going to get significantly more difficult here.
Oh, great. Okay. There goes that home state advantage.
Okay, we'll stay in the general vicinity. Larry Sievers.
Well, let's phone a friend again.
Yep, good idea.
Maybe I should stop giving hits.
No, you're doing good.
Well, I mean, it's actually more interesting when the guest knows, contributes.
Crazy deal about Larry Sievers. So Larry Sievers was an All-American wide receiver at the University of Tennessee. Also, he played for the Seahawks. I think that was Steve Argent was a Seahawk. So you really only needed one dude.
Yeah, he was pretty good
at that time. But my best friend growing up, Justin Mays, his mother's maiden name was Sievers, and she was Larry Sievers' cousin. So
Oh, nice.
My best friend growing up was Larry Sievers' like second cousin, right?
It's impressive.
Yeah, man. I know all about this. There are streets in Tennessee not named after Larry Sievers, or in Clinton, not named after Larry Sievers, but named after his family because they were also big into politics and stuff.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, 2 for 2. Soul Gravy doing better than I thought you would.
Killing it, man.
All right.
So proud of you.
Soul Gravy, the McCameys.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
It's a family
Uh-huh.
from Tennessee. What would a
I got
family?
that part, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what might they be well known for?
I'm not sure. Well, I mean, we'll still let Josh contribute,
Okay.
but I'll say I don't know.
It's fair enough.
They're up to some misbehaving, singing some Southern gospel music. They are a Southern gospel group in Clinton, Tennessee.
Okay.
I know a lot about the notable people from Clinton.
Apparently, yeah.
Around during my lifetime, I guess.
Yeah. Well, 3 for 3, Soul Gravy. This is the best you've ever done.
I'm on a roll.
I'm gonna give you one more.
Okay.
This one is gonna be pretty difficult.
Okay.
Paul Turner.
Oh yeah, Paul Turner. Yeah.
Good old Paul.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I actually do know a Paul Turner, like from my area, but I'm
From Tennessee. I mean,
not the same one.
probably not him.
No, this one owns a cattle farm.
Okay. Well, Paul Turner was an American Baptist pastor notable for his efforts in integrating Clinton High School. So this would have been not too long after Brown versus the Board of Education.
Gotcha.
So shout out to Paul. That's Clinton, Tennessee, folks. We picked the 4.
Shame I don't know that dude's name. Know the story.
Well, there's opportunities all the way around. So I appreciate you bearing with us as we dig into your hometown. Josh, I do want to ask you a little bit about, so we have this question called the pie question, and it helps us determine kind of where you sit musically. So it's an odd question, but just bear with me till I get to the end, and then it'll make sense. So, yep, I'm going to give you a musical pie.
God.
And you're going to divide it into 4 sections. Those 4 sections are songwriting, recording, performing, and then the 4th slice of pie is anything that doesn't fit into those first 3 slices. So everything that has to do with the business, the back end, booking, social media, stuff that a lot of folks, maybe it's not their favorite thing to do.
Right.
But I'm not trying to push an answer to this question. Where out of those 4 slices do you think you kind of naturally go to, or where do you gravitate to?
I definitely gravitate towards the songwriting. That's the thing that I would do whether I was performing or not. Like, I'm gonna write songs. I enjoy it. I feel like a compulsion almost to do it. Then performing. I love performing, man. It's fun. It makes me. I don't know how to explain it. I need to do that too. But if it was between those two, like, I'd write songs. Like, I don't need to go out and like just perform. You know, I can annoy the people that are closest to me without having to get on stage. but like, and then after that, I'd probably say, what were the 4?
Recording was the other kind of musical one, I guess.
Okay.
I would say, and then the 4th one is anything that doesn't fit into those other 3.
Okay, I like recording too. It stresses me out a little bit, but most of that's because I feel like I have a bunch of really talented friends, and here I am having a bunch of really talented friends humoring me. You know, like, good job, little buddy. And
I'm sure they feel the same way.
I hate all the other stuff, like the social media and the business. I do like, I love the friends that I made with music. Like, I feel like I've met some really cool ass people, and like people that I'm gonna love for the rest of my life. And I guess that's part of that pie too. That other
makes
little
it bearable.
Yeah. So I met people that I'm gonna love for the rest of my life with that other part, the glad handing part. You know, the part that you don't like necessarily want to do, but like, more than anything, I feel like I'm a songwriter.
Yep,
That's
absolutely.
the biggest piece of pie.
At what point in your kind of musical journey did you know that? Did you figure that out pretty early, or?
So I feel like I've written poems and songs. I mean, as long as I can remember, little stupid stuff, you know. I started playing bass with my friend. I started playing bass in high school. My buddy Justin, who his cousin was Larry Sievers.
There you go.
His dad bought them a couple of guitars and a bass. He and his brother, he bought them guitars and a bass, and they both started playing guitar, and I was kind of stuck with the bass and started playing bass, and but even then, like, I started writing songs. Then I started playing in bands probably when I was about 18 years old. I was writing songs, but they didn't really fit in with the bands that I was playing with. So they just kind of got, like, I had all these songs that were kind of in my pocket or whatever. I don't use any of them now, but but like, I always felt drawn to writing songs, probably more than any of them. I knew it right when I started playing music that I like writing songs.
Makes sense. This is a super overworn podcast question, but like, part of me thinks it's an okay question because we're all interested in it. But I do want to know what's unique about your songwriting process, or is there anything about your process that maybe is a little bit different in terms of how you go about it?
Man, I don't know if there's anything unique. I feel like most of my songs, not most, but a lot of my songs, a great deal of my songs, have happened either like when I'm riding in the car. Like, I'll start writing songs when I'm in the car, and I've got so many like little, like, really crappy sounding voice memos in my phone where I've just kind of, and like, I'll read somebody's bumper sticker and get pissed off or whatever, and start, singing a little line into my phone. I don't know if that's unique. I feel like we all kind of. It's easy to write songs when you're by yourself. I don't know about easy, but you get what I'm saying. Like that's the genesis of a lot of them. Just ride in the car.
Do you ever designate time to like sit down and go, okay, today's songwriting day, or is it more just like, hey, I've got 15,000 notes in my phone and I need to put this together?
It's a little bit of both. Sometimes songs just kind of come and it's really easy. When I get to a point where maybe I've not written a song in a time period that I find acceptable, I'll sit down. I'm gonna freaking write a song today.
Right.
Sometimes that works really well. I know that some of the people that I like, I've heard some of my songwriting friends be like, I write songs whether I feel inspiration to do so or not, or it's my job. I write songs, and I would like to say that I do that, but I feel like it's a mix, if that makes sense. Like sometimes I'm like, I'm writing a damn song because I haven't written a damn song in a week or 2 weeks,
time,
or
right?
a month, and it's time to like I need to produce something. Sometimes it works out great, sometimes it's crap.
Do you have any specific songwriters that you maybe are especially influenced by, or maybe even motivated by?
I love Steve Earle. I love Lucinda Williams. Lucinda Williams is probably. There are times when I'm like, Lucinda Williams is my favorite song. I think it's a lot of it because I feel like she can write about anything. I feel like Steve Earle can do that too. I wish he'd write more songs now. I know he's doing all the like tribute albums to everybody. Mm-hmm. We talked about this before we got on, but like I'm a big Ryan Adams fan. I know he kind of, whatever. He's kind of hard to bear with sometimes.
Right.
But I love, and he's the guy that's like, writing songs is my job, so I'm gonna write songs whether I feel like it or not. And so yeah, but those are three people I can think of immediately that I always kind of think about as people that I really enjoy their songwriting.
I think that definitely helps in terms of wrapping our head around. So first off, folks, you're going to hear a song at halftime because we like to do that, and it gives the opportunity for you to maybe be introduced to an artist that you might not be familiar with. But I think it does help to kind of know where your brain sits and any potential influences and those kinds of things. So.
Yeah, I'm not a huge songwriter by any means, but I actually had that moment happen today, where I put a note in my phone that I actually made it kind of a somewhat like funny, I guess, jokingly comment on one of our past guests' TikToks today, the Waymores.
Okay, yeah.
The Waymores had a TikTok where he was riding like a motorized horse, like a gas station or a grocery store horse, and he's like cheesing, and she's embarrassed, and I was like, basically it was it didn't cost very much, it cost very little to have a smile that big, something of that nature, right? And we laughed about it to start with, and then I was like, well, shit, that's actually.
That's a really good thought and a good line. Yeah.
That'll probably where it'll stay from now on. So yeah, and thanks for the help in the trivia. That was that kept me afloat this week.
I'm sorry, I felt like such a dork. Yeah, I know this one.
All right, so I was curious about when you actually started songwriting. We got kind of your process and all that kind of stuff, but when did you feel like that was something, like how old were you when you dove into this? A lot of people start really, really young. A lot of people find it later.
I probably started, I feel like there are kind of like stages of it.
Right.
I feel like I've always kind of written songs again, like just kind of, I started with just kind of stupid stuff as a kid, you know, whatever. And then I remember like my sophomore year of high school, I was in my English class. We would do like we would start every class with journaling, and I would a lot of times write poems or kind of things that I thought were songs in that class. I probably started writing, like trying to write songs like as a regular practice. When I was in my first band, I was in when I was in college, I was in this Christian band called Proof of Purchase. Um, and I didn't sing. I played bass in that band. I was afraid to sing in front of people. And, but I tried to probably start writing songs as a practice. That time I was 18 years old. And then I've never stopped, like, since then. You know, there are times that I've been more productive, but I've written songs as a practice and trying to write songs regularly since I was 18 years old.
And I have to piggyback on what you just said, because I can relate to that as far as scared to sing in front of people. Because then I bet a lot of musicians could be the same way.
Yeah.
So when did that happen for you? You know, was there a moment where you kind of forced into that situation, or what happened?
I was never forced into it. I was 29 years old, and some stuff in my personal life happened that was like, right. God, that sucks. This is terrible. And again, I'd written all these songs, and I got through this sucky, terrible thing in my personal life when I was 29 years old, 30 years old. I'm not saying like what it is just because I don't want to throw on anybody other than us. But when I got through that, I was like, shit, I got through that. I'm gonna sing these songs in front of people. like how bad can singing in front of people be if I've just experienced like this like soul crushing, whatever in my life. Like, and so I was just like, whatever, man, I'm just going to show people my songs. I'm going to sing them. And so I was like, I kind of got started late at singing in front of people and performing my stuff. I was about 30 years old when I finally was like, whatever, man, I'm going to do it.
Did you find the people were way more accepting to that than you thought they would have been? The visions you had in your head were not
man.
the same?
Yeah, absolutely. So like people close to me were like, this is good. And I'm like, you're the people close to me. You're going to say that no matter what. You don't want.
You're going to say that now, but you're not coming to my shows.
Right. Yeah. Like, right. But I reached out to a couple of friends that I had played in a band with years before. And like, I had given them my songs when I was in the band with them. And it was kind of like, I felt like the whole response was kind of like, well, that's cute. That's cute that you're doing that. Like, you just keep doing that. You just keep plugging away, little buddy. And I sent a song to the guy that ended up being the bass player for Handsome and the Humbles, my band. And I sent him a couple of songs, and his response was basically like, holy shit. Like, these are really good songs. I would listen to this. This is the thing that I would listen to. And I trust him because he's a guy that would tell me also, like, that's cute, little buddy. You just keep plugging away, but you do that at home by yourself. And so yeah, like some of the musicians that I wanted to play music with, when they were like, oh yeah, I dig this. Let's go. Let's make a band, Then I was like, well, that's cool. And then, we started playing around Knoxville, which is where we were from. And weirdly enough, people liked it. So yeah, it went way better than I ever expected it to be. Like, I was just like hoping that, maybe I could play a couple of shows at, Applebee's or whatever, and it worked out better than that. So.
Yeah, that's cool. I've never played a gig at an Applebee's before, but I imagine that would be interesting.
I haven't either.
Later in the evening, Oddly enough, our Applebee's near us is combining with an IHOP, so that's I'm not sure how that's gonna go.
Apple chili pancake.
I don't even know. I'm not sure, but anyway. Um, well, before I feel like we should talk about the move
Yep.
before we get to the halftime, right? So, um, how did you? I guess unless it's too personal, how did you get from Texas to Tennessee?
Well,
Or Tennessee to Texas. Sorry.
yeah. So I came to Texas for the first time in 2019. Did a little tour, and like when I was out here, and that was also kind of around the time that I was going through what ended up being my divorce. But like when I was out here, I was like, Texas is a cool place. I can do Texas. You know, I like Texas. I like playing in Texas. People, even at places where I don't think people would listen, they listen in Texas. It was a really cool experience as a musician. And you know, I really liked Buc-ee's, but then HEB, but no, so like that was kind of in my mind, and I work a real job. I do physical therapy as a real job, and I after my divorce, I was like looking at travel jobs here, but I ultimately decided to stay in Tennessee. But in 2022, I started talking to this girl, Carrie, who had written a review on my solo EP, Reverend J. Mikhael Smith and the Brimstone Miracle, Dogwood Winter, which is, again, it's not on the internet anymore, but it will be again, I assure you. But we kind of became friends over me talking well, a couple things. I started talking about how awesome the band Cracker is. I love Cracker. They rule. And also Camper Van Beethoven. And but also I started talking shit about Bad Company. Not that I don't think Bad Company is awesome, but I think there are other bands that kind of do that are more awesome, you know? I know. You can cancel me now.
Well, they're not in the Hall of Fame, so you might be
But we kind of became friends through that, and then the friendship became something more. And she lives here in Texas, and so I was like, well, I want to be close to her. And so I moved to Texas, and here I am. I love Texas. We live in Denton, lived in Whitewright. Anyone familiar with Whitewright? It's it's close to Oklahoma. It's out in the middle of nowhere. We lived there for the first year that I was in Texas, and it was cool. I really liked it there too. But yeah, moved down to Denton. And I came here to be close to her and close to her son. They're my family now. So yeah, it's cool. I love it here.
You got something to say, or you?
Yep. So we are at halftime.
Okay.
Josh, if you don't mind, can you give us a little intro on this Draw Some Blood song?
Yeah, man. So Draw Some Blood is the title track to the new Handsome and the Humbles album, which we released at the end of June. And I wrote it. My dad was a professional wrestler in the late 1970s, early 1980s. I mean, he did it. He wrestled professionally until 1992, but he did it. It was his full-time job from 1975 until 1980, until I was born, basically.
Okay.
And so I wrote that song. I took some characters that he used to tell us, you know, me and my sister's stories about these guys that he wrestled with when he was coming up. And so I wrote this song. It's kind of a mashup of stories of some of the characters, some of the wrestlers that he knew. You know, and it's kind of a tribute to my dad, in a way that man, you gave me these cool stories, things that I would never even imagine, right? But also it's kind of sad because a lot of these guys, kind of talks about, and I don't want to like blow the whole song, but like kind of talks about like my dad wrestled during the territory days back when like there was the NWA and dudes would wrestle like in the Southeast and they do things in this area for a few months and then move on to this area and move on to this area, and they could always make money because they could always bring their story to these different areas. And like I'm talking too long, I'm sorry.
No, this is good.
But they could always make money. But then, you know, Vince McMahon had this thing up in New York, Connecticut, and he had a lot of money, and he got all the stars from these little areas all around the country. He got them to come up there and wrestle in what is now the WWE. And it really kind of killed all these small businesses all over the place. And that's kind of what the song's about, is about, you know, a dude that may have been good, but he wasn't quite what the big business wanted, right? And so he kind of lost his way of living, you know, as a result of that. And so it's kind of a sad story. You know?
All right. Well, I'd like to apologize in advance because once you alerted Soul Gravy that there was professional wrestling involved, the remaining 30 minutes is going to be about that. So, folks, give this a listen. If both y'all could go silent on this, we'll get the best cut of it.
It was burning fast and burning.
That's not it. Hang tight 1 second, folks.
This thing is not as easy as it looks from over there.
It's very difficult.
I don't wish for less, the wild man said as he spit out the rest of that poor chicken's head. As the father he fainted, and the son just laughed till he shit. All them other boys knew you don't want to know what goes on in that tent. See you rednecks at bell time, right around 6 steps, right up and out stretching. No push or kicks, let you know how it feels. You ain't gotta wonder if it's real. Bring your car home ticket, and you're in for a hell of a deal. They came to see him sling some fire. They came to watch him draw some blood. He lived to feed off of their ire. The only thing he ever loved, draw some blood. Another territory town. Yeah, there were ladies, but he never laid his roots down. He always got over. He did that on his own. But the ring and the road and that 66 souls were his home. They came to see him sling some fire. They came to watch him draw some blood. He lived to feed off of their ire. The only thing he ever loved, draw some blood. They went east, a couple of giants and some muscle-up freaks. Cable TV was now king in no place for old carnival geeks. When the money dried up, he moved off the road for the streets. Aches and pains became too much, so he made some new friends. He had no taste for the hard stuff. It was a mean to an ends, cheap motel on the highway in Jackson. Man, you know the rest. Closed his his eyes one last time and he whispered, I've done worse for less. They came to see he'd swallowed fire. They came to see he'd drawn some blood. He lived to feed off of their ire. The only thing he ever loved, draw some blood. The only thing he ever loved, draw some blood. The only thing he ever loved.
There we go. I got to remember to stop it now. Fun song. It meant something completely different to me.
Cool.
Until you gave us a little bit of the backstory, front story, whatever you want to call it. So
That's the cool thing about songs, right? Like,
yeah, for sure. Like I had built up this entire different story in my head, but there was an organizational aspect to it, but I didn't know it was about wrestling. So
You can hear this like Sun Volt.
oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? That kind of
Ooh,
of thing going on too. So
Yeah. So that it's funny you brought that up, Soul Gravy, because I was going to ask
okay.
the next question. Well, the first question was for Josh, and the next one was for you. But Josh, when you play your music with Handsome and the Humbles, I assume you get people that come up and say, "Oh, this what you do kind of reminds me of this." What's the typical answer that you get, or the comment that you get?
Well, we've been told like Uncle Tupelo and Sunvolt and Wilco. Somebody told me John Cougar Mountain Camp one time, and I was like, "That's cool." Like,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, it's kind of a lot of the stuff. Glad it was a lot of the stuff I like, you know. Trying to think if there are any really weird ones, but usually it's kind of in that vein though, like Tupelo or something.
Well, so I had the benefit of getting to see you live a couple times, and I don't know that I knew about the main or the other band. So, obviously, acoustic live is a very different sound than this, and I was like, oh, this is really in my wheelhouse. Like I knew it was either way, but
Yeah.
then I heard the full production, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. So Soul Gravy, my question to you is what did you hear, if you were trying to pick something that maybe reminded you of that?
Honestly, it reminded me of Drive-By Truckers.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The earlier, you know, the Carl Perkins Cadillac kind of.
I'll take it, man.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
Yeah.
the bands that I put down, so I put Sunvolt, I put Drive-By Truckers, I put the Jayhawks. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're a band out of Minnesota.
So much, man.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite bands.
And then
Green Grass, maybe my favorite album today.
oh yeah, it's such really good. We're trying to get them on. I don't know if that's going to happen, but old 97s, and then I also picked up a little bit of like earlier American Aquarium.
Oh,
Okay.
so the first review that anybody ever did on my band, he compared us to American Aquarium.
Okay.
And I hadn't really listened to American Aquarium at that time. And I listened to Burn, Flicker, Die, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This rules. That's a great compliment because it's a great band.
And then I had Sunvolt as well. So there is, I don't know, folks. If you like any of those bands, then I would implore you to go out and check out not only the rest of that album, but how many albums, Handsome and the Humbles? How many albums do we have?
Well, I think there are 3 or 4 full albums. I need to be looking at the phone to know. 3 or 4 full albums and a few EPs on there.
Okay. Yeah, there's a ton of good stuff. I've been through about 75% of it in the last 2 days, and I was like, oh, how did I not know about this? So, very cool. From a touring standpoint or being able to play live shows, how tricky is that living in Texas with, I'm assuming the rest of the band is back in Tennessee?
Yeah. Most of the playing I'm doing by myself.
Okay.
Now I'm actually doing a lot of duo shows with a guy that lives here in Texas, Daniel Markham, who is, you guys need to get him on. He's a killer songwriter.
Yeah, we'd love to.
He used to play in a band called Thrift Store Cowboys, which Amanda Shires was in.
Yeah.
He was he played guitar for Amanda Shires for years. Daniel Markham is a freaking treasure. But I've been playing a lot of duo shows with him. But I have a band show coming up here in Texas here in a few weeks at a festival, the Old Bolivar Station Songwriters Festival in October. But
nice.
But I've been playing mostly solo stuff. It's really, the band is in Tennessee. They don't really. Everybody's got families and jobs.
Yep.
Kind of, we play when we can. It's more of we record stuff now and play shows as we can, but it's mostly in East Tennessee when we play together.
Makes sense. Can you talk a little bit about the I don't know if you would quantify it as the alt country scene in and around Knoxville, but I feel like that is something that maybe doesn't get all the attention that it should.
No, man.
Especially a few years ago, that was. Yeah,
there were some killer bands in the East Tennessee, the Knoxville area. First band that comes to mind for me, which is probably the first all country band that I remember hearing that wasn't. I think the first all country band I can actually remember hearing is Whiskey Town, which is not Tennessee, but like the first band after that I can remember hearing is the V-Roys, which I don't know if you're familiar with Scott Miller.
Yep.
Scott Miller and Mick Harrison, who is about to release a freaking killer album. He's in Knoxville now. He's from West Tennessee actually originally, but great bands. The Everybody Fields. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Sam Bennett and Jill Andrews. Josh Oliver is a great band, but man, there has been great music in the Knoxville area, great alt country music in the Knoxville area. I remember opening a show for Robbie Fulks one time, and this guy R.B. Morris was there. I don't know if you're familiar with R.B. Morris, but he's a killer songwriter, and Robbie Fulks was like, and I think Robbie Fulks is a big deal. Robbie Fulks was like, holy shit, R.B. Morris is here. I feel like Knoxville, population-wise, can hang with anywhere I've ever been, as far as like talented songwriters and cool bands and killer music. And nobody knows about it,
Is it a little bit of a, I mean, I don't know if this is fair or not, but is it a little bit of a chip on the shoulder that kind of feeds into that, alt scene, not being Nashville?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's kind of, I feel like a lot of the music that I love, a lot of the Knoxville bands that I love, it's kind of, the whole thing is like a middle finger.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think there's something to that.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Are you a Meat Puppets fan?
I do like the Meat Puppets, but I'm not like a huge Meat Puppets fan.
Okay, fair enough. Just a question. So
So you How did the when you first moved to Texas and you're trying to play music out? When I think of alt country, I don't necessarily think of Denton, Texas, but I could be wrong. But still, it's not. How did you kind of get out into that world, and how was it perceived, and how did you get to where you are right now? I guess.
Um, so, hey man, Slobberbone is from Denton. That's Slobberbone, they're killer. But like, um, I ended up in Denton because the real job I worked was in Denton, and but I knew Denton had like a really good music scene, a lot of talented people here. Like UNT is big for their like jazz school, but I mean, you guys know Tugboat, Chris Killingsworth, who we'll all see. He plays with Eric Willis, and he's played with many people. But he went to school at UNT, and he lived in Knoxville. I met him in Tennessee, and when I told him I was moving to Texas, and I told him where, he was like, "Oh man, you should go to Denton. Denton's great. Like, you're gonna love Denton. That's the kind of place where you'll fit in, and people really like what you do." And it's been cool. Things have gone well. Here. There's a lot of good venues here. There's a place just down the street from where I live called Dan Silverleaf, and all the bands that I like going, they play at Dan Silverleaf. So it's a good spot, man. I love it.
Dan's is the best, and they have, I think, the best sound engineer around.
Oh, Brent Beth, the best.
Yeah. Speaking of Slobberbone.
Speaking of Slobberbone, man, I saw that they're playing a show here in Denton on Halloween. I'm just trying to think how I can go to that show.
Yep, we got to find our way to that one for sure.
Yeah.
But something we talked about before the show, before we started, and a lot of people that watch this thing are familiar with Zach Wilkerson, and of course, the 7 Degrees of Adam Hood. That I know it's me this time, but you've had the pleasure of opening up for folks like that along the way, which is super cool, and congratulations. Especially, something else we talked about how not nice both of those guys are, but the worst. But
couple of jerks.
No, but I could only imagine how just to open up for people that are that type of artist, but then happen to be those two, some of the nicest ones as well.
So nice, man. Like, I've opened for Adam Hood a couple of times, and like, he's super nice. His drummer's from Knoxville, so I know his drummer from those things. But like, those dudes are so nice. I've been lucky. I've gotten open up for all kinds of cool people, but I dig it. Adam.
I think that's the part I think I'm not surprised by, but I like that has happened as far as again, we were talking about Whiskey Town and by Truckers, and then you're opening up for Adam Hood. Not necessarily the same vein of music, but just giving you the opportunity to do all those things and be your, just play your music, which is the great part about that scene. I think that's really cool. You don't have to be a cowboy to, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, right. Well, dude, people that like Adam Hood just like good songs, right? Like that's what draws people to Adam Hood. It's not like, I don't know. I feel like I knew a dude in Tennessee that was like from Seattle, Washington. It was just a dude. No, nothing. What that would scream like, country music. Like in my interactions with him, he loved Adam Hood was like his favorite artist, right?
Yeah.
Because he liked good songs.
There's no better second verse writer than Adam Hood.
Dude,
he's just a monster.
Killer, man.
Yep. Well, Soul Gravy, I'm surprised you didn't have a wrestling question that you wanted to ask.
No, I mean,
All
I
good.
grew up with it definitely in the '80s. That was on every Saturday morning in my house. I grew up with the grandparents, and I was Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett jumping off of the couch and getting in trouble. So,
Do you have an opinion on Jim Cornette? Do you have feelings about Jim Cornette, the manager?
no, not necessarily. I mean, I remember him, and I remember that his whole stick was to be annoying and kind of a prick or whatever. But
Both, they're
I know
both
he was a big promoter and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Promoters usually are. All right. Well, the area that I grew up in was, I don't know what it was called, the Midwest or Kansas City area. So we had Harley Race and the Junkyard Dog were kind of consistent folks in the North Kansas City area.
I was trying to remember the actual name. I think it's the USWA. I think was the
man.
program that was us, and it was. I was trying to also think of some of the other names. Sid Vicious was another big guy, and Undertaker was right here before Undertaker at one point.
That's a big.
I think he was another one of those territory guys that tried.
Now, did y'all get Atlanta, or was Atlanta a different territory?
No,
I did. I got Atlanta.
Okay. So I remember getting cable TV. So this dates me a little bit, but we would get WTBS, and they would always have on, the Atlanta area.
Yeah.
And man, like the world kind of changed because I just thought wrestling was a thing that was in our world, So anyway, super cool.
Yeah, man. And all these. Yeah.
In our area, the weatherman was the color commentator. If that tells you how big of an operator.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I love it.
Shout out to the
That's
weatherman.
how it was, though. That's how it was. Like, just like, dudes. So one of the territories my dad wrestled in was called the ICW, which was owned by Randy Savage's family in Kentucky. And like Miss Elizabeth was a person that Randy Savage met at the gym. And then she started doing like commentary, like you're just a gal.
Yep.
from Lexington, Kentucky.
All right, Josh, we're going to get into the rapid fire section, and then Soul Gravy has a pretty significant question he wants to end the show with. So if you are ready, we will hop into the rapid fire.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Jude says call it theater wrestling. How dare she? In the chat.
It's different in Australia, so shout out to our international listeners. We appreciate you being here. Josh, what's an album that you've purchased more than once?
Tomorrow the Green Grass by the Jayhawks.
There you go.
Yeah.
Great. Best answer so far. What would you be doing if you weren't doing music?
Wrestling. Now,
Hey, there you go.
Physical therapy. I mean, that's what I do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. We might have to talk after this, but so you get dinner with one historical figure. Who were you breaking bread with?
Oh, a historical figure?
It can be dead or alive.
Dead or alive? Shoot. That's hard. Can we come back to that?
You bet.
I guess I just need to have an answer, right?
Nah, it's okay. We can skip it. You get 2 skips.
Skip that.
I can ask you this one because I've actually seen you a couple.
With the rules panel, and that's what we come up with.
Yeah. I can ask this one because I've seen you play a couple times. What do you see when you play?
I usually find a couple of people that seem to be into it, and I lock in on them.
Nice. Ideal green room.
Ideal green room. Most recent place that I had a rider, we asked for Slim Jims and Budweiser, and I just need air conditioning, and I'm good, man. Budweiser, Slim Jims, and air conditioning.
Solid. I feel like I can't not ask this. Any idea what was on your dad's rider?
Oh man, you know what? He wasn't like a big drinker or anything. He probably wanted like some bagels. Probably wanted some bagels on his rider and some Banaka. He was a big breast.
Oh, shit. I haven't heard Banaka in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's a big Banaka fan.
Okay. Well, there we go. I think we might add that to our rider.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna. Does this still exist?
Yeah, I think so. I
Right.
think it does. What's a song of yours that you were confident the people would love and didn't love?
I had a song on the last album that I felt like was really good. It's called "Now I Know." It's the last album being alternative air country, and I thought people would love that song. I thought it was really relatable, and like 2 people like it.
So two things, folks. You have homework.
Yeah, check that
You
one out.
absolutely should go check that song out. And Josh, I don't know the answer to this, but do you play that live?
I do. Actually, that's going to be. I know that's on the set list for the full band show at
Okay.
Old Bolivar Station Songwriter Festival.
All right. Nice.
You know that, yeah.
Let's put a push behind it, folks.
Yeah.
Could use the streams. We'd appreciate it. First concert you attended. This is Soul Gravy's question. First concert you attended, and then the first concert you paid for.
First concert I attended was definitely like a doo-wop show. My dad lived in New York. He used to go to all these like doo-wop shows that have like 10 bands, you know, half of which were the actual band, half of which were, you know, basically, you know, skaters, not the band. And but yeah, that was the first show I went to that I can remember was a doo-wop show at Nassau Coliseum on Long Island, New York.
Very
The
cool.
first show that I paid for was probably a local band, 180 Turnaround, which was a Christian punk band, and they became a band called the Hot Shot Freight Train, which I think you guys would dig. You should check out the Hot Shot Freight Train.
All right, cool.
Which is kind of like a East Tennessee Americana punk band. I think you would find them in your
Wheelhouse.
in your vein, in your wheelhouse. I think you'd like them.
Nice. All right.
History rock.
I like a good referral, so that helps.
Yeah.
All right. So you get to pick a venue in Texas that would be, I don't know, kind of a bucket list venue that you'd like to play, but I also want you to pick one in Tennessee.
Okay, so in Texas, a bucket list venue. I feel like this is going to sound ridiculous. You saw me at one of my favorite venues on the planet. I freaking love the Gar Hole so much.
Yeah.
That's that like Green Hall, you know.
Sure.
Here in Texas would be a bucket list venue. In Tennessee, I played a bucket list venue in about a month in August, the Bijou Theater in Knoxville. So
nice.
if I don't get so that was it for me. But like the Tennessee Theater, actually, which is also in Knoxville, would be. I know everybody would say the Ryman, but for me, it's the Tennessee, man. It's beautiful. Sounds better than the Ryman. It's more beautiful than the Ryman.
How?
You know.
Is it because you've been to see shows there and stuff as well?
I've been to both. I've probably been drunker in the Tennessee Theater. Is that
Fair
word?
enough.
More drunk?
I guess I mean, is it more of a romantic question?
It is.
Because of
Definitely.
where you're from. And
Yeah, it's because it's where I'm from.
gotcha.
I know I could also be like, screw you guys that aren't playing the Tennessee Theater right now.
Approximately, what's the cap on that room? Would you guess?
Oh, that's a good. I feel like it's a couple thousand. It's not
That's pretty big.
big.
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah.
It's big.
I mean,
It's not like
Soul Gravy played one of those the other day, but yeah, it's pretty impressive.
dude.
Yeah.
All right. What's one thing on your list at Buc-ee's that you can't leave without?
Oh man,
You brought up Buc-ee's, so I felt
Busey's.
obligated to ask this question.
dude.
Beauty.
So most of the time when I go to Busey's, it's The sausage on a stick, man.
Oh, dude, so good with the tortilla around it.
The tortilla. And those tortillas are so good, man.
Oh.
And like I eat low carb a lot, but I'm not eating this tortilla. And so I'll eat that whole sausage. And then I've got this like greasy tortilla left. And
That's
I'm
the best part.
this is and so I eat the greasy tortilla too. But I also 1A would be there's a cheesesteak burrito they have.
Oh, I haven't had that.
It's killer, man.
Ooh,
And the chips are good too.
there's one not too far from my house.
Yeah, we're gonna have one about 30 minutes away from here at some point in time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know when it's gonna be built, but yeah,
Congrats.
yeah.
Are you in Memphis? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm about 30 minutes north of Memphis.
Okay.
They're building one on the interstate right outside of town. So, well, I'll say 30 minutes outside of town.
Okay.
Not near me, but close enough that I'm sure we'll be making trips over to.
Yeah, you got to go.
I'm gonna get one of everything on the menu.
Do it.
Well,
It's a lot of stuff.
pack a second credit card. All right. Two more questions because I've gone a little over, but I'm enjoying your answers. If you could add your music to any soundtrack or TV show, what would you add it to?
Friday Night Lights, Texas Forever.
There you go.
Praise
there you
the
go.
Lord.
Man, somebody's thought that one out.
Dude, that's my favorite. It's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
Friday
it is.
Night Lights is a few of my favorite things.
Can't explain it if you haven't been here, but get to Texas, folks. All right. Last question that I have is tribute bands. Yay or nay?
Oh, man. I always felt kind of nay on it.
Yeah.
But when you see a good tribute band,
Right.
and then like when you see tribute bands of like bands that like you can't see anymore,
Right.
I don't know, man. I'm kind of in between.
It's
I've
fair.
got some friends that play in tribute bands, and they're much better musicians than I. So I'm gonna say.
That's fair. All right, folks.
I didn't really. I wasn't fully. I didn't really know the extent of tribute bands so much because there's not as many here as there are there.
There's a lot here.
But
There's a ton here.
There's a local theater here in my town that has been booking not great tribute bands lately, and I like it. It infuriates me every time I drive by the billboard. Like and every time I'm glad that the local theater is doing something. I'm glad that there are seats, and I'm glad that it's being used. I just wish it wasn't being used on that. But
That's kind of a bummer, right? Like.
it's like an Alabama tribute band and a Garth Brooks tribute band, and I'm like, oh Lord.
Yep.
There are some tribute bands that I've seen, and I'm like, why though? Like, why does that? Why is there a tribute band for that? Like, just watch YouTube, like whatever, like. But I don't know. I've seen some pretty fun tribute bands, but I don't know. Like, it also kind of bums me out sometimes that like people will pay to go see a current country artist tribute band.
Yeah, it's wild.
And I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, there are so many good country artists that you can go see that are making their own songs.
I think that's what the problem is with
it. Is.
That's my issue, yeah.
Well, one quick point.
Okay.
Because we can't get too far down the road without doing a little promotion. There is one tribute band that y'all should step up to go see. Men Still, October 15th in the Stockyards. You'll meet this guy right here, Soul Gravy, and you'll meet. Sorry, I gotta go this way. I can't. It's backwards. Whatever. This guy over here. Not. Whatever. You're gonna meet Josh. So come hang out with us on October 15th. Men Still is full of a bunch of killers that play in bands that and they're phenomenal. So that's that. Be there. It's $10 at the door. You'll have a blast.
That's nothing.
It is. It's like free. It's negative money.
That's basically free. Like, you can't even get one of the things we talked about at Buc-ee's for that.
Yeah. Well, we wanted to make it affordable, but if you haven't seen Men Still yet, you should, because it's amazing.
And the singer will be on tomorrow night.
Ironically, yes.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, last question, Soul Gravy.
All right. If y'all don't follow Josh, make sure you do. He loves social media. Loves social media. But it still go give him a follow, because he's gonna be sharing everywhere that he's playing. That's the way that we that's the avenue that we have to keep up with your favorite artists. So make sure you go follow Josh on all of his socials. His music will be back on streaming platforms soon.
Yes.
And because he's got the solo stuff and the band that we played earlier with the Handsome and the Humbles. Make sure you go do all that and engage in the post. He doesn't like to post on social media, so when he does, let him know that you saw it and comment and make it worth it. And he's not alone. There's a lot of artists that do the same thing, or that feel the same way. All right, so this is the most important question, and since you're from Tennessee, just north of the factory, I feel like this is the easy question. So, what is your favorite Little Debbie snack?
Oh man, I celebrate. I eat oatmeal cream pies the most. I celebrate pretty much the entire catalog. Star Crunches when I was a kid were my favorite, but oatmeal cream pies for me now are probably the thing I eat the most. What I like to do also is we also have cosmic brownies in the house right now, and I will open up an oatmeal cream pie and I'll stick a cosmic brownie in between the oatmeal cream pies, and I'll make a damn sandwich.
I don't know.
And it's not as good as it sounds. Actually, the oatmeal cream pie is better by itself.
This guy's a lunatic over here.
But I'm wild.
How far are we from the headquarters there, Soul Gravy?
I'm about 5 hours away.
No, how far is Clinton?
Knoxville. I'm not sure. Yeah. Kind of.
Shout out to Little Debbie's. We're still here for Little Debbie's.
Right?
We're still here for the sponsorship if you need it. All right, Josh. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Appreciate it. Soul Gravy, always good to see you. Y'all make sure you give us a follow on YouTube. We would appreciate it. It helps us get great guests like Josh. So thank you very much. Y'all take care.
We'll see you.